Hello and welcome back to Great British Biking Adventures. As you probably already know, we're making our way round the British coastline on our motorcycle. If you like what we're doing and want to keep up with future videos, please like and subscribe. We really like to see and respond to your comments, so don't be shy, but do be polite. In the last episode, we made an early start at Norman's Bay near Pevensey and got this far, where we had our breakfast. We showed you our ride into Dungeness last time, and because this place is just so interesting and captivating, we thought you'd like to ride along with us as we leave. For the UK, I'd go as far to say it's unique, especially for the southeast, where everything so far has been extensively developed. Although it's not, it's been described as Britain's desert, and you can see why. We are in the county of Kent now. Ride along with us and enjoy. So I think this is Great Stone. It's either Great Stone or Little Stone. Martello Tower. This is Dymchurch.
This is Dymchurch Wall. It was built to help protect Romney Marsh from flooding. Romney Marsh is a low-lying reclaimed wetland and home to the famous sheep of the same name. It covers about 100 square miles. The marsh has been in use for centuries. Its inhabitants commonly suffered from malaria until the 18th century. Due to its location, geography and isolation, it was a smuggler's paradise between the 1600s and 1800s. This is Dymchurch Redoubt at Palmarsh. It was built during the Napoleonic War between 1804 and 1812 to support the chain of 21 Martello Towers that stretched between Hythe in Kent and Rye in Sussex, and to act as a supply depot for them. It specifically protected the sluices that were the key to the drainage of Romney Marsh. It has been used by the military ever since and remains the property of the Ministry of Defence. It's a scheduled monument and listed by English Heritage as a building at risk, although a conservation plan has been agreed.
So this is the beachfront at Sandgate. impressive buildings. This is Folkestone.
Folkestone seems like a very nice place, but when I researched it, I couldn't find anything of particular note, especially given its size and age. The Channel Tunnel runs underneath very close to here, which I suppose makes up for the fact the last ferry to Boulogne left in 2001. As for famous people, it seems the best it can lay claim to birthing is Samuel Plimsoll, who gave his name to the safety line painted on ships' hulls.
Well, there's the seafront, but we can't quite get to it from this point.
There is, however, a bit of royal gossip. King Edward VII and his mistress, Alice Keppel, who just so happens to be the great-grandmother of the new Queen Camilla, regularly enjoyed the luxury and discretion of the Grand Hotel.
So this is Folkestone Harbour.
I've probably completely missed some big event or profound fact. If I have, please let me know in the comments down below. This is the Battle of Britain Memorial. The Battle of Britain was a military campaign of the Second World War in which the Royal Air Force and Fleet Air Arm of the Royal Navy defended the United Kingdom against large-scale attacks by Nazi Germany's Air Force, the Luftwaffe. It was the first major military campaign fought entirely by air forces. With the objective of compelling the British to surrender to their demands, the Germans tried to blockade Great Britain. They attacked coastal shipping convoys by air and sea. In an attempt to gain air superiority, on the 1st of August 1940, the Luftwaffe turned their attention to the RAF and targeted airfields, radar stations and factories involved in aircraft production. The Germans had rapidly overwhelmed the rest of Europe and were confident of victory. Against the odds and advice of many from home and abroad, Winston Churchill declared, "We will never surrender." The Luftwaffe heavily outnumbered the RAF. During the Battle of Britain, they had 2,550 fighter planes available, while the RAF only had 749. British pilots were also less experienced than the Luftwaffe pilots. The average age of an RAF pilot in the Battle of Britain was just 20 years old. Those brave British and Allied pilots took to the skies to defend our nation as swarms of German aircraft crossed the Channel with their payloads of bombs. The Spitfire and Hurricane were the two main fighter planes used by the RAF. Although the Spitfire attracts more attention, the Hurricanes were more numerous and were responsible for most of the German losses, especially in the early part of the battle. Engineers worked relentlessly to rapidly improve the performance of these aircraft, but even then they barely matched the German Messerschmitt Bf 109. Consequently, the dogfights that ensued were often down to pilot skill. To say it was a close call is an understatement. By September 1940, just as the Royal Air Force was beginning to be overwhelmed, the Luftwaffe, unable to sustain the losses it was experiencing, turned their attention to British cities instead. Many say this was the turning point. On the 20th of August 1940, while the Battle of Britain was still ongoing and the winner unclear, Churchill gave his famous So Few speech about the pilots flying in the Battle of Britain.
The gratitude of every home in our island, in our empire, and indeed throughout the world, except in the abodes of the guilty, goes out to the British airmen who, undaunted by odds, unwearied in their constant challenge and mortal danger, are turning the tide of the world war by their prowess and by their devotion. Never in the field of human conflict was so much owed by so many to so few.
There'll be bluebirds over the white cliffs of Dover. Tomorrow, just you wait and see. There there'll be love and laughter and peace ever after. Tomorrow, when the world is free.
So we're hoping to go up and around Dover Castle, which I can see in front of us every now and again. I think we're going to get a glimpse of it now. It's quite an impressive castle. Dover Castle has a commanding position overlooking the shortest sea crossing between England and Europe, known as the Strait of Dover. The present building was started by King Henry II in the 1180s. The buildings have been added to, adapted and renovated during the centuries to continue its pivotal role of defending Great Britain. During the Second World War, Dover Castle tunnels were used as an air raid shelter, command centre and underground hospital. And in 1940, Admiral Sir Bertram Ramsay directed the evacuation of French and British soldiers from Dunkirk from his headquarters in the castle's lift tunnels. English Heritage owns it now and provide a great day out where you can explore and learn about this medieval castle. Dover marks the end of our UK South Coast travels, as from here we start to head in a northerly direction. That makes this a good place to end this video. Join us next time as we continue to explore beautiful shingle beaches and take a look at the prestigious Royal St George's Golf Club.